Yes, everyone, what's going on? There was meant to be an intro there. I don't know what happened. It's one of those, I guess. We will figure it out. Apologies for going late. Apparently, Janine had unplugged the internet downstairs to do some ironing. Who'd have thunk it? These are the issues we don't have when we're in the studio. I had to change the chat to make it just members only because, honestly, it was utter carnage. If you want to get involved in the chat and you want to support the channel, just join it. Evening, Ross. Where do we even start with today, boys and girls? I feel like I have to make a comment on the situation, but the comment I'll be making is I won't be prejudicing any police investigation. Obviously, Manchester United has suspended Mason Greenwood. I can comment on that because that's what the club has done. And I'll just say, if it turns out to be true, which obviously it looks like it probably is, if the club have acted the way they have, if it turns out to be true, then he needs sacking at the very, very least and probably looking at facing jail time. But outside of that, I won't be prejudicing any sort of information or giving an opinion or discussing anything about, his ex-partner, anything along those lines. I never want to get involved in players' personal lives. It's not what I'm about. It's not what I do this for. I like to discuss football. I like tactics. I'm not even a massive fan of transfers in reality, despite this being essentially a transfer show. I hate the emphasis placed on transfers. I know recruitment's one of the most important things in football. I hate this sort of emphasis that's on it. And I hate the way people are demanding reaction. I thought I fairly strongly condemned everything that would look like it was going on social media, and the way people literally twist very black and white words was astonishing, absolutely astonishing. There's obviously serious implications for Manchester United, losing an effective member of the squad while we're looking at offloading a hell of a lot of people. The timing is pretty disastrous, but it's something that the club's going to have to deal with. So that's literally all I'll be doing. For anyone asking about who's followed who and who's unfollowed who, don't care. I have zero interest in that sort of stuff. It's just, there's no interest in that for me whatsoever. And that's literally all I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to discuss what happens next or anything along those lines because you can't do that. I will say absolutely condemn it in every sense of the word. We condemned it hard when a YouTuber was found guilty lately. And if Mason's the same, he'll be given the exact same. And, this isn't me sitting here saying, well, there's two sides to every story. There is an investigation, and that investigation will play out. That's it. Okay, should we talk about transfers then? So, in the light of Manchester United suspending one of our players, talk has immediately heated up. Might be an opportunity to have the talk heat up. Might be a welcome distraction for some people. At the club, it might have even been something that they've gone, just blast this everywhere, get someone talking about something else. But anyway, the Dembele stuff, I got the word that, this morning before all this broke as well, I got the word that United are actually looking to bring somebody in tomorrow. But I don't think it's going to be the major kind of name. And let's be honest, Ousmane Dembele is actually a major name. However, I don't think he's very good. And I don't think he actually brings anything apart from being another player, probably in a bracket of an assumed quality. He doesn't turn out anywhere near enough, and the numbers that he's been putting up are dog shit. I just don't see it. Romano said there's no official bid, no talks opened by United for Dembele. They've not submitted any proposal to sign him on deadline as things stand. Same position from United since today. So that could change overnight. Things happen very, very fast. Look how fast the Ronaldo stuff evolved. So that could change very, very quickly. And we might actually see some sort of movement, I imagine, on Dembele if there's anything in it. But the stuff that I've just been trying to do a little bit of research on, it actually looks like there's more interest from both Barcelona and PSG than there is from Manchester United. And Icardi might hold the keys to doing a flip around here. I'll tell you what, I don't know how Barcelona at the start of the season couldn't sign anyone and have gone on an absolute shopping spree. What's going on there with that? But, as it stands, no bid for Dembele. Another one that was potential was Basuma. I saw a couple of tweets about it. I've tried to drill into it, but can't find anything of any substance. So I think we'd have to move that one into the bullshit pile. There's just nothing in that whatsoever. Donny van de Beek to Everton is a done, supposedly. All confirmed, and the deal's been made. So it looks like he's off to Everton. It looked like it was all completely sewn up for him going to Crystal Palace this morning or yesterday. So something happened pretty quickly there and moved it along, and that's how fast things can move and change in the latter days of a transfer window. And obviously tomorrow is the deadline. Phil Jones yesterday saw this. Bordeaux are confident in signing Phil Jones from United. Talks are apparently at the final stage on the player side. He's keen for a move. United have given a green light apparently. And it's just Rangnick waiting to confirm that he's happy for everyone to complete the deal. I actually think there's, with the sheer number of players going, and there's another one I'm going to talk about in a second, I do get the sneaky suspicion that we're trying to line up bringing somebody in. Bordeaux apparently are pretty optimistic at bringing in Phil Jones. So Lingard, his brother on socials talking about him being on day release. Just let him go. He doesn't want to be here. He's not going to offer anything for us for the last 6 months of the season. Just let him go. Anything that we get in now is more than the nothing that you're getting in 5 months' time. So just let him go, as far as I'm concerned. BM says, Dembele agreed terms with PSG a couple of hours ago. All right, well, I missed that. I did try and have a look, but there was nothing that I could find. So there you go. Ross Murphy says, amazing at Braithwaite and Traore at Middlesbrough, and now they're at Barcelona. Would I take Aubameyang? What, taking what? Fucking Nando's? Fuck off. Barca have got approved for another Santander credit card. Tell you what, they must have some credit rating. How do you get $1 billion in debt? That's actually, they're like, keep it going. See if this one goes through. Oh shit, it went through. We've all had nights like that out in clubs. 3FHW says, I expected Diallo to do well at Rangers, but I think he would have been the perfect option to provide depth right now. It's a good point, isn't it? You can recall him back before the window shuts. I don't know how that works. Glad to see Rafinha come in, would be a good replacement, says Brandon. Rafinha's not a bad shout. I think he would cost far too much cash. I'm not sure I'm down for that, to be honest. Jack says, Dembele seems seriously overrated, and with Cavani not always being fit, same for Rashford, do we need another injury-ridden player? You might get it lucky where that one of them's just fit all the time, but yeah, the best ability is availability in it, and that's the top and bottom of it. Ross says, rather keep Jesse and have Sancho, Rashford, Elanga, and Lingard as left and right wingers. He's not a winger, though. That's the problem. He's been shunted out onto the wing, but he's not good at it, and it's not where he plays. Clayton says, do you believe Pogba would stay if Rangnick's appointed? Personally, I think it's BS. We've actually seen this for every manager that Pogba's had. Fergie's convinced him to stay. Mourinho's convinced him to stay. Solskjaer's convinced him to stay. Now Rangnick's convinced him to stay. I'm just sick of the circus. I just really am absolutely sick of the circus. It never ends and it never goes away. Niloy says, I follow United since 2002. What a time that was. Players humble, down to earth. Sir Alex and Roy, now this generation. Of greed, money, fame, utterly disgusting. Listen, I don't think we should be... there's some names that you're throwing around in there that... one name in there that you're throwing around in there. Roy Keane literally got... I said this to my dad earlier. The social media generation and cancel culture maybe on some hands it's a good thing. I often think it's way over the top. In this particular instance, it probably isn't, especially with the seriousness of some of the allegations. But Roy Keane got arrested for assaulting a woman the week of the 1999 FA Cup final. Sir Alex literally went to Bootle Street Police Station himself to bail him out, and he was still captain of Manchester United that weekend. And I said, can you imagine that now? I don't remember being that much of a fuss around it at the time. Probably incorrectly, but incorrect in that it didn't happen rather than incorrect in that I don't remember it. I just don't think it happened. It's just a different world that we live in now, innit? Can you imagine that that was the case now? It'd be absolute carnage. There'd be a whole campaign for him not to play in the FA Cup final. It'd be insane. Honestly, it'd be absolutely insane. Romano just tweeted, PSG are in for Dembele. That's that then, I guess. What the trenches United treat deadline day the last 10 minutes of a night out where they go, fuck it. Anyone will do. High, I would think. There's a high chance of that, I reckon. However, he says anyone in the academy at the moment that's not on loan that could come in and do a job for us on the wing. I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. Romano said him staying doesn't depend on the manager. I assume that's talking about Paul Pogba. Welcome to everyone that's just joined as well. So One Skill RAP and Louis Lives 98. Welcome to channel membership. Well done. Cheers. Anyone in the academy can play right winger, said Ross. I don't think so, to be honest. John says, great win for the Paddock on Saturday. See you next week in the cup. But the fucking Paddock. If you want to go watch how we got on, fucking hell, absolute last minute. We had to come from behind and then we had to hold on like mad towards the end. That was 5 games to go in the league. There's now 4 games to go in the league. So if you want to go and check it out, Stretford Paddock FC, go and have a look. The last game, I think it's called Absolute Carnage because it was absolute carnage. And I've got some news coming out for you guys soon, so stay tuned. We are hoping from the 1st of March, John knows what it is, but from the 1st of March, we're hoping to start making good on our promise for the football club to be owned by you guys and the community. So keep an eye out for the information coming out on that and stay tuned for that. Can we recall Palestre? I don't think he's good enough, mate. I just don't think he's anywhere near the level that we need. Are there any allegedlys in that, or do we definitely know Keno did it? He was definitely arrested for it. I don't know what the outcome of whether he was charged or not. Should we Google while we're on? He was definitely arrested for it. He was released on bail. If you Google it, there's literally video footage of Sir Alex going to the police station. Whether or not he was convicted, I don't know, but you know, he was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the. I don't know if he's convicted or not. It doesn't say. So can't help you on that one. We need a winger big time. Just go young and hungry. There's so many good players that you can go and get. There's almost an infinite number that you could go and get. And I wouldn't mind seeing someone. I mean, to be honest, you've got Jadon Sancho. You could probably retool some of the players that's in the squad. If we stay injury free, we'll be okay. There's a lot of players gone. But, you know, how much was Marshall playing? How much was Donny van der Beek playing? They weren't playing. You know, how much was Ahmad playing? He wasn't playing. Mason obviously was playing. Sancho's not really been playing week in, week out. There may be an opportunity for someone now, but no one springs to mind as who, and maybe that's a good thing. How does Paddock FC make money apart from shirt sales? It doesn't. It costs me to run it, to be honest with you, regularly. The players pay subs as well. No, they're not paid. The players pay subs. Just hope we don't do an Igalo Josh King signing. I liked Igalo. I thought he was all right, you know. Hopefully Van der Beek does well at Everton, come back in the summer in time for Pogba leaving. Well, he's got the opportunity now, hasn't he, Donny? Yeah, he definitely has the opportunity of him going out and proving what he can do in the Premier League. In a good team, let's have it right. That Everton 11's quite a strong side. Dwight McNeil, I don't think he's quite ready for it just yet. Julio says, could I argue the fuss was low back then due to the huge social media coverage we have now, these days? Yes, I'm sure. Naresh says, love the Paddock FC doc, very well made. Could you give us an explanation on how the promotional system works in your league? Yeah, there is no promotion. We are in the Premier Division of the Lancashire and Cheshire League. There is no promotion from this point on. We have a decision to make, which we haven't yet made, which is we can go to the Manchester League or we can go to the Cheshire League. Those are step 7 of the English football pyramid. One of those leagues will provide us the pathway through to the Northwest Counties, which is the level 10, where hashtag entered the non-league pyramid, the proper non-league pyramid, where it's then done on merit alone. To get to the level for us to get to step 7, it has to be an application. There has to be facilities in place. There has to be like England accreditation with the FA and things like that. We have all of our ducks in a row. That's the things that I've been working on hard behind the scenes, is making sure that all of our qualifications, our DBS checks and all that sort of stuff are up to scratch, and they are. We can put an application into either of those leagues, and depending on which ones either accept us, or if one accepts us and one don't, then there's not really a decision to be made. If both accept us, there might be a decision to be made. So remains to be seen which one we're going to go to, but stay tuned. I would like to do it on the back of winning the league. Obviously, we're top 3 points clear, but the goal difference that second place has, with a game in hand, it makes it impossible for us to draw with them. James would have been good now as a bench player. He wasn't, though. He had zero end product. He wouldn't have fit. He might have fit in terms of being a little bit of energy, but he's not a starter. He was never a starter. Ross, Lampard will now make Donny his new Mason Mount. Might not be a bad thing if he does. Tino, welcome to the channel. I think there was a super chat for you earlier, but it's gone. There it is. Yeah, I'm not going to read that out because I don't want to get more into that, but yes, I agree. As this is an extreme situation, can I see the Glazers making funds available? No. When's Paddock's last match? I'm going to try and get up if I'm not abroad at the time. The problem we've got, because of COVID, and there were so many games called off in December and January with it. Because of COVID, the league seems to only be releasing fixtures in 2-week chunks at a time. We are away next week against Trafford, and then we are home the following week against Manchester Polonia. And I don't have any fixtures beyond that. After that, I've got 3 league games left. 2 of them will be at home. 1 of them will be away. I don't know what way round they're going to be at the moment. We are hopeful that 2 of those league games will be at Droylsden as our home ground. Fingers crossed. That's what we're hoping for them to be. There's just a little bit of tidying up and submission to the council to get the safety certificate for the stadium complete. So there's all these things you don't know about running a fucking club that you have to go do. But that's where we stand at the moment. That's the things that need doing. So fingers crossed we can find ourselves in there. Ronaldo will start getting assists now. It'd be interesting to see how United actually do line up. Does Ralph go back to maybe trying Ronaldo off the left a little bit? Does he go back to playing a system that has 2 strikers? We've just sort of found a little bit of balance with a 4-3-3. You can play Cavani and Ronaldo, in my opinion. I think they can work well because they don't occupy the same space and they're totally different in the way they play. But then who do you play to provide a little balance with them, and who's the one that's sacrificed to go off the right? We've seen Cavani do it. We've seen him have to sort of put up with that for his entire career at PSG, but I don't think he liked it. When the games at the Butchers come back, as I was just saying, like hopefully 2 out of those 3 following. We're hopeful it might happen for the Polonia game, but I think that might be too soon. So that's going to be 12th of Feb. I think 12th of Feb will be too soon. I have no idea how long it takes for the council. I've never applied for a safety certificate before and they have to do a visit. It's the council. I don't imagine they do it on the same day when you apply. So we have to wait. And it's nothing crazy. It's just going to be one of those where they go, do you let you see the attendance or the maximum capacity that you're allowed for all the safety stuff that you've got. So they'll just come in and go, right, yeah, you're allowed like, I mean, Droylsden holds like 4,500, even if they reduce the capacity because it's getting a bit tired and that now. Well, even if they say, oh, no, it's 3,000 now. Well, we're not going to get 3,000 in there, so it's happy days. Got to sign another attacker and wait another year for a DM, says David Briscoe. Maybe. Maybe. I don't. You don't know what sort of growth Ahmad's going to go through. Could be a good spell for him. He looked out of the two, out of Palestri and Ahmad. Ahmad did look like the one that looked like he really had something about him. He could come in and show something now. It might mean Alanga gets an extended run in the team. You hope that Marcus now is scored in his last 2 appearances. A little bit of confidence, bit of a break this week. Can he crack on, push on, and maybe recapture his form? If he does, you've still got Alanga, you've still got Sancho, you've still got Rashford, you've still got Ronaldo, you've still got Cavani. You do still have the likes of Juan Mata, even though not ideal, but you have them. There's still things you can do. Tom Hartard, welcome to being a channel member. I'm worried about us for the next game, says Rory. This sort of thing might be a real shock to the squad, and we'll need some incredible professionalism to carry on as normal. Probably right, mate, to be fair. Should we all worry about the dressing room now with all the leaks and now this incident, maybe even more unknown unrest? And could it affect who we get as a new manager? I don't know. There's too many variables in that one. Vinay says, shout out to Ollie's daughter, and can Ahmad be recalled? Ahmad, I don't know the rules on whether he can be recalled or not. But yeah, shout outs to Ollie's daughter, become the first father-daughter combo that's ever played for a football club. It's an incredible story, isn't it? And I know Ollie's regularly seen down watching the women's team as well. So it's good to see Ollie smiling, looking happy. I think he's hanging around Manchester till the end of the season just to see how, he's got kids playing around here, hasn't he? So hopefully he finds him, or he starts looking for some work in the summer again. Louis says, did I hear someone say bring Lingard back on the right wing again? I'm talking about the dressing room leaks. I'm not sure the squad's super double happy at the moment. And, clearly there's reasons for it not to be outside of today. But the leaks are a whole different thing altogether, I think. As a Juve fan, I hope Kulu and Bentancur let Judas Conte down for your sake. Oh. Anything voluntary? Is that for Drosden? Yeah, we're probably going to be. Oh, there you go. Anything voluntary people can do at the Butcher's Arms to help with moving back in. Yeah, we'll probably put a bit of a call to arms out, James. So if you want to come and get down, we'll probably do a shout out and just say, yeah, there's probably going to be painting. We've got loads of paint. There'll be loads of painting to do to bring it back up. It's been dormant again now for like another 15 months, and we only had it for 3 games, didn't we? Thoughts on that non-league that turned down Spurs, says Matthew. It's interesting, isn't it? I think, obviously I'm involved in it, so I'm going to say this, but non-league's on fire at the moment. I don't think people quite realise. I think National League and the National League North and South could quite easily be considered League 3 and League 4 of the EFL. There's essentially 6 professional divisions. Premier League and Championship, League 1, League 2, and then National League and National League North and South. Obviously there's 2 there, but there's essentially 6 levels, 7 divisions, but 6 levels of professional football. Most teams in those divisions are professional. There's some players on £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 a week playing National League football, which is meant to be semi-pro. It obviously isn't, because the riches of being in the EFL, even though they're minuscule compared to the Premier League, there's still a lot of money involved there, so people will throw money at it. Look how much Salford threw at it to get into League 2. The National League, the Conference League, is one of the most difficult divisions in football. It's almost like a replica of what the Championship is. It's a massive bottleneck, a lot of really, really good teams in there, which means that the league is brutally exciting. You can go on a run and go from 14th to 3rd, and you can go on a run of poor form and end up dropping out of a title race and really pushing for relegation. It's an absolute knife fight. It's breathtaking to watch. Some of the football on display is ridiculous. Some of you guys watch Paddock and go, oh my God, you lot are shit. And yeah, compared to the Premier League football that you watch on TV every week, we are shit. But when you realise the background of most of our players have come through professional clubs, and been at professional clubs for a lot of their life, over half of their life, most of them, and they still, to the eye test from you watching it on a TV, because that's your usual way of watching football, or some of you, it's your usual way of watching football. You compare the Premier League and you compare this and you go, well, that's slower, the touches are awful. This, yeah, there's a reason that these guys play at this level, not the Premier League. But they're still better than anybody that you know. And they've still had careers better than anybody you know. It's just this is where they're playing now. And the abilities of some of those boys in the conference is phenomenal. And the fact now that Premier League teams are going shopping at Juventus and non-league teams tells you that, yeah, they're probably coming looking for a bargain rather than spending 30, 40 million pounds on a player. But there's Premier League standard players down here, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, we've got a player that's going to be going to League One. That's a huge jump from where we are. It's almost a 10-league jump from where we are. And he won't be on his own. No, we've had players leave us and go to the conference. You know, Akira Simmons is playing in the conference at the moment, and we've got Isaac Buckley-Ricketts playing in the conference at the moment. And you can see how good they are playing for us, and they're still looking very good playing where they're playing. I think the level probably does almost looks exponential, because I reckon, I said this to Ronaldo the other day, I reckon the jump from like our level to conference level is a jump, hell of a jump. But I bet there's a greater jump from the worst Premier League player to the best Premier League player. I think the gap in the Premier League is bigger than like the gap between like Championship and League One, and then like Championship and the Conference League. It's like very, very, very gradual increases, and then you get to like the top end of the Premier League, and it just goes, have some of that. Shout out to Derby. Yeah, Rooney was literally on my points here, you know. 7 points from safety. And if he keeps them up, it's obviously one of the best achievements in management. I'm reading what Brandon said here, but I completely agree with every one of these. 21-point deduction and might keep them up. They are looking ridiculously good at the moment, aren't they? So, yeah, massive shout out to Wayne Rooney. Supposedly just flat out turned down the Everton job. I hope he sticks around and manages to complete the job here at Derby, because what he's doing is sensational work. These are the sort of groundings that a lot of managers haven't, you know, they've just gone, I want a Premier League club, and that's me. But he's gone and he's worked on it, and you know, this is far from anyone liking Steven Gerrard on this channel, but I have to give Steven Gerrard some serious credit. He started with Liverpool under 18s. Probably could have got that job just by ringing someone up, let's be honest, but he did start there, and he's done a good job there. He goes to Rangers. That's a hell of a jump, being an under 18s manager to being a top flight manager. Whether you know the Scottish Prem's competitive on the world circuit or not, still a hell of a jump. Yes, it was a team probably expected to do well, not necessarily expected to win the league, but certainly one expected to do well, and he did it. He did it in good fashion. And he's come to Villa, and it looks like, you know, he's actually got something about him as a manager. As much as that pains for me to say, I hope Rooney goes down the same route. Learn your craft. You're going to be in this for 30 or 40 years. Learn your craft at the lowest level that you can. Make the mistakes that you're going to make, and then see where it takes you following that. No need for Rooney to like keep Derby up and then try and get the United job, in my opinion. I think he's got to go and start cutting his teeth and prove a couple of other different things. Same with Gerrard. Learn something, maybe move Villa up, earn a bit of respect. He obviously wants the Liverpool job at some point, and that's totally understandable, but earn it first. Earn it. Ross says, any other manager would have left that job being in the sort of position they are, but not Wayne Rooney. Unreal, innit? How Lampard's still getting Premier League jobs and all is considered the worst manager in the Prem. It's because everyone's anti-United, mate. That's the top and bottom of it. Lampard did a terrible job, and Ollie didn't do that bad a job. It fell apart at the end, but his job wasn't bad. Paul says, all credit to Wayne Rooney, serving his apprenticeship properly. Potential future United manager in 10 years, perhaps. The way the world works and the way people rotate through managers at the speed that they rotate through, it'll probably be quicker than in 10 years. I'm sure. It probably will end up being quicker than in 10 years. And if it is, it is. But if it takes him 10 years and he's on an upward trajectory, by the time he ends up at United, he'll learn everything he needs to learn to be able to handle it here. Clayton says, this moment in time, am I buying one or two first teamers that maybe don't work out or waiting for summer? I think you could make a. I think you could make a real difference to Manchester United by bringing in a midfielder right now for the FA Cup and the Champions League campaign. Right now. And I think if United did that, that would lead to a real feel-good factor and a strong finish to the season. I think trying to make do, finding a manager and figuring it out in the summer might be a bad move, but I also understand the not wanting to go bananas and spend 30, 40 million on a midfielder that the new manager might not like, which is why I think going picking someone like a Kamara that was potentially going to be a free transfer in the summer and just getting him in a little bit earlier for a small minimal gamble might have been a better move for us. But, you know, the Glazers run their football club differently to the way I run mine. I know they're a little bit different in scale, but I only want to win and I only want to progress and I only want to achieve. And we've done awesome in 18 months' time. And they took the greatest club in the world and then fucking got overtaken in its own city, overtaken in the Northwest, overtaken in terms of Chelsea in the country in the last 20 years. And they didn't need to do anything to it. They just needed to keep it running the way it was and let it spend the money it makes. Instead, they've took like 1.6 billion out of it. And what's happened over the last 15, 16 years has happened. So they're not my favourite people. If so many players are leaving, surely we should be looking at signing one player at least. Yeah, I get the feeling. I'm going to do another one of these probably tomorrow lunchtime, something like that. Just get in, see what's going on in terms of the news kicking around and then find out what's cracking and figure it out. But I'm going to wrap it up there for now. Please go and check out the Stretford Paddock FC documentary if you've not seen it. And if you have, then go and check out the highlights that we posted today from yesterday's game. And remember, stay tuned. Probably around the 1st of March, we're going to be introducing something that allows you to come in and have your say. But more info on that very soon. 1st of March, keep an eye out for what's going to be dropping. It's going to be big and you're going to want to be a part of it. And it will be limited. And if you miss out, look, we told you, didn't we? How many people have been in touch and saying, where can I buy a green and gold shirt? We told you it was limited, and it was limited. This is going to be even more limited. There's going to be half or less of how many of the green and gold shirts that we sold of this opportunity coming. So keep your eyes peeled, and we'll see you in March. But check it out over on the Stretford Paddock FC channel. So Stretford Paddock FC, go check out the doc and the highlights from today's game. In fact, I want to know in the comments who you thought was man of the match in yesterday's game, because I think there was a couple of candidates. You go and let me know who you think was man of the match. I'll see you in a bit.